Welcome to another episode of St Vincent Untold Stories. On this episode, we are going to tell you some things about the big man that you need to know. And we are also going to give you an update with the last of a volcano in St Vincent and many more. Big ups to all of my subscribers. And if you are new to the channel, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon, cause you are going to want to see this video and many more like this one. Well, as we all know by now, the big man is 74. There is an old saying that says age is just a number. But let me show you how that is not true. The things you used to do when you was 15 years old, you want to do them at 74. And no one is perfect. Because we all know that every person did something in their childhood that they regretted doing. It is just like construction. You know, you have these young, vibrant boys that come on the construction site playing Hercules. The first couple of days, they could lift up everything as if they jinked Thanos up legend. They could lift blocks, they could lift barrels of sand, sacks of cement, and the chairman and the foreman would say, "Youth, take your time." But what they do most of the time when they hire, they give you a period to prove yourself. And that youth will show strength and power and energy, and he would prove himself. But you see, after like a month, after 2 months, when he's fully employed, he gets comfortable, start showing up to work late, sleeping on the job, talking to the boss however he feels like, and so forth. It is just like how the big man is doing things now. When he started off with energy and power. So, after 20 plus years of leadership, it seems like he has gotten comfortable. So, he has had enough. He needs to go home and spend his time with his family now. He would be able to survive because I am sure that he already bought lands, built houses, have businesses, vehicles, and so forth. Remember, I stressed the point in which there are persons who can't go home right now, whether they pass retirement age or not, because of extreme poverty, or because they never had a job as a public servant in which they are entitled to severance pay. So there are those who have worked their entire life past retirement age and don't want to go home, always want to be in the spotlight and not moving forward as technology improves. It had a time as that King Yellowman used to run dance hall. Then came the likes of Shabarangs. Then came Beanie Man, and now they have Vibes Cartel. So you see, things are changing. Even the clothing that people are wearing are changing. So we must be able to make changes as well. Back in my days in the first farm, the style was big-footed pants, and now you have pencil-footed pants. You as a business owner, right? If you notice that your competitors are using computers and smartphones to get ahead of you, won't you try to use the same computers and smartphones to stay up to date? My subscribers, do you know who Larry Page is? Larry Page is the person who owns YouTube, Google, and the Android that you are using on your cell phone. And you see the person who designed the Android software. He was in a situation in which he designed the software and he went to a company to make phones to work with the software. But the problem was Apple launched their software on the phone, and their phone was touchscreen. So you know what the person who made Android did? He went back to the giant board and he made the phone's touchscreen as well. So we have a problem in St. Vincent and the Grenadines where everyone is moving ahead, but St. Vincent is stagnant because the big man is stuck in his old ways of doing things. He needs to get youths straight out of the university on his team. And I am not just talking about youths who who are going to be yes men when the big man says, move that, yes sir, do that, yes sir. Not like that. I am talking about youths that are going to be creators and inventors. Youths that can move this place forward. When the big man says, do that, they are going to say, no, big man, that is not the right way. If we do it this way, more people would be employed. So a system is now being created in which now it becomes a family thing. So if the big man passes on, then son take over, then grandson. So any of you guys differently that are not family to the big man, have you had dreams and aspiration to become the big man or the big woman in this country? I also want to reach out to a minister friend of mine. I saw that you were promoting some boats on social media, saying that the fishermen could go to certain places to the banks and apply to get one of those boats. But if my memory serves me right, and I could remember, wasn't a guy given a big chala already and he couldn't go with it because he was saying that he couldn't get the fish sold? Allegations are that there are Taiwanese vessels fishing in our waters because of some agreement with the big man. We want to know if that is true because remember when the Japanese were doing it in the Australian waters, they were catching the fish and making all the money. And when the Australian people checked the record, they noticed that they wasn't making enough money that they should have been making. So tell us something. Are we going to still allow that and we have extreme poverty in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Can't these men just come and buy the fish from our local fishermen? You see, in Japan, the bluefin tuna, it's a delicacy. So the price of the bluefin tuna has skyrocketed. One could cost thousands of dollars. So say for example, they are making thousands of dollars from our tunas. Tell me something. The allegations are that they are helping out with the rebuilding of schools, police transport and so forth. But if we sell those tunas for ourselves, can't we do those things the same way and provide more employment for the locals? Just recently, everyone was saying, fowl farm, fowl farm. And then they couldn't get the eggs sell. So what about a fish farm? Remember, we are under extreme poverty and we need to find solutions that can get us out. We can start out with some freshwater fish farms and then we can expand to some saltwater floating farms. Then we can start the construction of a processing factory in which we can fish. That could be our first factory that would provide mass employment under the big man's 20 plus years of leadership. Look at the statistics. Look at the unemployment rate right now. We need to do something immediately. Look at the crime rate. Let us look at the roadwork that they give twice per year, for example. Do you know that should be like a side job when you are on holidays? You need something better. You need something stable, something that can sustain your family for the entire year. Youth just coming out of secondary school and college and you have to go straight to road work. How do you feel about that? The big man cannot provide jobs for everyone. But most person will tell you, try to create your own form of employment. But listen me and listen to me carefully. Not everyone would be bosses. Some people would be employees and some persons would be employers. What we need to do as a people is to get the country from out of the 19th century lifestyle of living. If we develop the country and we advance ourselves in technology, then the people would get higher wages. Ever since I was a little boy, all I saw was the importation of conchol. So you wanna tell me up to this day and age, 2021, there isn't even a conchol factory? and the consumers that are consuming Cancol are doing it in large numbers. Why not put up an offer to a company like Ford, one in Russia, places like Germany, to build vehicle parts so that we can have an assembly line here? And they might say, yes, that is a good initiative. The last soufriere volcano, it erupted, right? Do you know that we are now going to start over from scratch? So what are we going to do? Go back to the old ways of doing things? No, we need to change immediately. If the big man is not willing to make those changes, he need to pass on the baton or just done. If you notice, I did not disrespect him in any way personal, because we must have respect for our elders. Remember that we revealed on Untold Stories that some persons complained to us, saying they wasn't getting anything from Nemo, they haven't received any monies because the monies were going mostly to the big man's supporters. And you see, persons came to New 784 and backed up what Untold Stories was saying. So that is telling you that we are speaking the truth. In the Caribbean, we are last in the class at the moment. Mr. Big Man, it is now time for you to pass on the baton. With that being said, I just want to big up the entire population of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the regional islands and the international countries who are supporting and praying for us during these difficult times. We thank you. I'm out.